so much that can be said regarding today's feast. Particularly our Lord's invitation to the young man and his invitation to the children to come to him. These themes are very important today in light of how priests and bishops have been preventing children from coming to Christ or hindering them in their evil deeds towards children. But first I would like to just say a little bit about the Rosary. So when we have people speaking different languages, we can be grateful that Latin is the universal language of the Church, the mother tongue. Mothers teach children how to speak. The Church teaches her children how to speak. And that language traditionally is Latin. So we say the Latin Mass. The advantage is it's no one's language, and it can be everyone's language. We all have to make a little effort to be united in prayer using Latin. And so it is with the Rosary. It should be prayed with one voice, together, in the same language. And when there are multiple languages, certainly it's preferable to say it in Latin. And if anyone needs help finding the Latin prayers for the Rosary, I or someone else can certainly help you find these prayers, which are easy to say in Latin. So let us be united in prayer, in one voice, and in one language, our mother tongue, in Latin. And now, regarding our feast, I'll try to just speak of the most important facets of the saint that we honor today, Saint Jerónimo Emiliano. He was born in the late 15th century. His father died when he was 15 or so, and he ran away from home not long after. Usually when a child runs away from home, it's not a good thing. Likely the family life was not what it should have been or could have been. If we can gather that he had a troubled childhood, we can understand better why he devoted his entire life to helping children. He probably knew what it was like to suffer as a child. And so he had great interest in helping orphans, both for boys and for girls, and for the sick. He built hospitals, and he even opened, for the first time in really the history, he opened a house for women who would otherwise live in brothels. He opened a home for these destitute women so that they could live a better life. And as he was helping children in the street, living in the street, giving them a home, he studied for the priesthood, became a priest, and he gathered other men with a similar interest and started a religious order. And like many other saints that we've already spoken about, he continued to exercise charity to the sick, to the homeless, to the poor, even at the cost of his life. So a plague occurred in Italy where he was serving, and unlike today, in especially the Catholic Church, the response at this time was to increase outreach to the victims of plague. Thanks be to God, religious institutions are now suing governors for restricting religious services during this so-called pandemic. Unfortunately, the Catholic bishops have been completely complacent, saying nothing, only complying, sometimes without even having to comply, by shutting down their churches and making a mockery of the Eucharist. The idea of receiving the Eucharist in an envelope and then having to consume it outside in your car is ludicrous and sacrilege. We've lost it. We don't know what we're doing anymore. We certainly do not believe in the real presence when we distribute the Eucharist as if it was a disease. Saint Jerome, on the other hand, died serving plague victims. He acquired the disease himself and died at about 50 years old. And so we honor a saint. We honor somebody who committed his life to serving others, especially children, in helping children come to Christ. And so let us imitate a saint in helping those who are less fortunate than ourselves. In nomine Patris et Filii et Spiritus Sancti. Amen.